All right, welcome back to another mention. I am Quinn.
I'm Trask.
I'm Taylor.
Hey, Taylor.
Howdy.
Hello, everyone.
So this week in the news, you're probably a little sad. You're not going to get your whiskey that you were really dreaming of.
I know.
Got stolen out in Washington on the cargo theft that we talked about last week. Just another example of why this is kind of a hot button item.
12,000 bottles of $1 million worth of whiskey. Right?
Yes. Gariana, Westfield Gariana whiskey.
Something on Washington State.
It was 10-year-old, pretty distinct stuff, but a truck showed up with the proper paperwork, loaded up the whiskey, and hasn't been seen since. But what they're saying is this whiskey is pretty sought after. I don't know, well, what is 12,000 divided, or what's $1 million divided by 12,000?
A lot.
Is that 10 grand?
A bottle?
Well, yeah.
$1,000 a bottle would be 1.2 million, right?
$1 million?
Or that'd be 12 million.
Divided by how many?
12,000.
$100 a bottle.
$83.
Yeah.
$83.
It's
Yeah, I was off a zero or two.
But that's 10 years. It's 10-year-old,
Yeah.
right? Like you can't get that back.
No, so they were saying like most businesses, if they lost $1 million in inventory, would fold. They think they'll make it through, which is okay. And I'm sure there's insurance for all that stuff, right? But these bottles are so distinct. I was reading in it that they don't think that they're going to be able to export these out of the country unless it's like a really part of another bigger organization or whatever that may be. So that was interesting.
Well, maybe somebody's just getting drunk on a street corner.
Can you imagine? Just, hey, got these for $10. Buy them up.
Frank Gallagher.
Right?
Yeah.
From Shameless.
Yep.
And then also kind of playing into our main topic, but everyone's been hearing about ICE in the news. Whether you're for it, against it, whatever, that's your opinion. We'll keep opinions out of it. But the Oklahoma State Port of Entry partnered up with ICE this past week, and in a 3-day period, they detained 130 illegal drivers. Drivers.
Wow.
So just goes to show you that the process is broken as far as safety and issuing CDLs. Mm-hmm. Back are the days where, hey, where'd you get your CDL? Out of a Cracker Jack box? I think we're kind of reverting to that. And with technologies and the ways that, everyone has a printer or has access to a printer, it's probably not hard to forge these things and get them into the system and have the right paperwork.
Which is a problem we're going to talk about today.
Right.
So,
and the last thing I thought was interesting, out in Maine, Biddeford, Maine, on Saturday night, a guy was being chased by the police. I don't know how, he must have gotten far enough away from him.
Okay.
But he was running down the highway out there, like crossing the highway, and got hit by a semi.
Oh, man.
He was still alive. The cops found him the next morning, but the truck driver called in like 30 minutes later, thought he hit a deer. They're like, really? So they went back and looked, and they saw some blood. They found the guy, significant leg injuries, and at the beginning stages of hypothermia. But he was like busted, and he was like a car theft ring, and they were chasing him.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess he's had a big record. He was 39 years old. He was running, got hit by a semi, survived, and they found him in a marsh the next morning. So can you imagine?
How desperate you'll be when you live that type of life.
But can you imagine, like,
there's a lot going on in that story.
Running from the cops. Okay, your adrenaline's already going. Mm-hmm. Boom, hit by an 18-wheeler. Now they find you in a marsh the next morning. Like,
I'll never do it, but I've always wondered what that feeling, like when you decide you're going to run, I wonder what that feels like. I don't
know. I don't know if you're feeling at that point. I think you're just reacting.
My buddy, so my college roommate's brother went away for like 2 years. He long chase, drawn out and everything. And I've always been like, have you ever asked him what that felt like? And they're not that close, but I just wonder.
Say this, but didn't you ever run from the cops when you were a kid?
Yeah, but like
that's different.
Okay.
I feel See, I'm talking about in a situation like this,
like
where
Grand Theft Auto,
like where you're a criminal and you decide, all right, this is
it's all or nothing.
It's all or nothing.
I think the majority of people in Wisconsin have ran from the cops
in some degree
as a teenager for underage drinking. Not supporting that. I'm not saying I have or I haven't.
It just is what it is.
But I will say that I was faster than the person next to me.
That's all that matters.
And at that time, it was all or nothing. Just like,
Yes, but it wasn't like I was facing life in prison or jail time for that.
maybe.
You just get taken home and a slap on the wrist.
Which was worse. Trust
Right.
me.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
Anyway, yes, I don't know. I think it probably, at the time, probably is the same thing because getting an underage at 17, 18, your life as a teenager could be over, or at least you think it is.
Yeah, for
But-
a few years.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I want to shout out our drivers, our safety department, everybody who's been behind this, monitoring this, and improving themselves. In June, we've talked about this a lot, but in June we started tracking following distance due to the fact that we had some accidents. And so what we started tracking was anything over 55 miles an hour. If a vehicle was 1.5 seconds in front of you for more than a minute, that would get basically flagged, right? Because we want 6 seconds of following distance. In June, I got the numbers right here. In June, we had 438
Instances.
let's just say. This month of September, 98
Across the fleet.
across the fleet. That is a huge decrease. And
So we went from 12 a day to 3 a day?
yeah,
Yep.
15 a day to 3 a day.
sure.
It's crazy.
It's awesome. It's making everything safer. So wholeheartedly thank you for doing that. I know we can do better, but we are making great strides. So thank you to everyone who's been helping with that.
Do you think 0 is attainable?
Yeah.
In reality, though, do you think it? This is going to sound wrong because I believe in it, but in Chicago or something like that, do you think it is with traffic? You can always back off, right?
Back off.
Okay.
So that's for a minute, right? Like,
Right.
if you're thinking
You're
about
just cruising.
if you're thinking about it, you should be able to make that decision in a minute to back off, right?
100%.
I mean, that doesn't take into account like the fact that people do pull in front of you or merge, from the right or left or however that looks.
But at that point, you still can slow down.
can
You have
still
a minute.
react.
You have
Yeah.
a minute to react to that before you start getting measured.
Yeah, it's a huge win.
That is.
Is 0 attainable? I'd like to say yeah, but I'm also a realist. Like, man, if we could cut that down to 50 again.
What if it was 1 per guy or
Sure.
driver? That'd
Sure.
be awesome.
Yeah.
I think you'd be breaking some type of record.
Well, it depends on
somewhere.
what's other people are measuring, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had that conversation. What's important to you, as a company, as a leader, as the owner. Some people may measure this and think it's extremely important. On the flip side, the company next door may be like, that's doesn't have any effect to me.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's awesome. Kudos to everyone.
It's huge.
Even our biggest offenders are still our biggest offender, and it's being talked about, but it's decreased a lot. So everyone is showing a conscious effort. I've heard some guys, you don't know this yet, but I'll share this here for the first time. One of our drivers called in, and Ken had to talk to him about something completely unrelated. And after the call, I'm like, what the heck was that about? He goes, well, you just started. He said, I know, I got an event. I'm sorry, I've been working on it. And like, whatever, it was really funny. He's like, that's not even what I was talking to you about. And vice versa, they ended up having a really good conversation about it. It was funny. They were joking, which made it mean that they were all caring.
Yeah.
And then Ken said, keep it up and I'll do a cartwheel for you the next time you're in here.
Oh.
And then it turned out to be, no, I want you to do the cartwheel now. So then Ken hung up the phone. He's like, I got to do a cartwheel for Keith Gornjack. Can you guys can you guys tell him I did one? I said, absolutely not. You better do one.
Do you have video?
Chad does. And it's, let's just say my toddlers tumble a lot better.
It's not really a cartwheel.
No, it's like a cart ski. I don't know.
It's a
Cart U.
he turned over.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, so it was funny. But goes to show that safety can be fun too. And that's not saying, hey, we're running around doing cartwheels in here, because I know that's where your head probably went.
what are you guys doing?
But it was it made the competition. It made everyone kind of feel like everyone was bought in, and it was truly just kind of in the heat of the moment. It was just a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Thank Ken.
Thank everyone. Yes.
Thank you for not kicking something off the wall.
How many headaches are saved when like incidences are down that much here in the office? Like, does that?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a bunch.
Well, but when an incident happens, it's just
chaos.
Yeah.
And God forbid it's something major, it's even worse.
Right.
You know, it's different if you get a fender bender or something like that. Not saying that it's not a lot of work, but you're not up against the gun of first thing you got to do is make sure everyone's okay. And once that, then you know, like, hey, there's nothing you can do about the outcome here. You just got to document.
Well, and that, you know, any kind of instance, it's how you react to it and how you handle it.
Right.
We had a driver, his mother passed away last week.
Yeah.
And it was a difficult situation. I think everybody on the team did a tremendous job of handling that. Getting the driver, getting Dennis, you know, down here, and helping him through whatever he needed. Getting in touch with the customer, getting all that coordinated was really a team effort. I think everybody did a great job. Yeah. Even you know, Dennis reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I just wanted to say everybody on the team did an awesome job. Thank you." So, you know, I think that shows a lot about character, both
right
individually
thing.
and as a company. Like, hey, do the right thing and do.
The little things matter, right? Like,
yeah.
At that point, it didn't matter that, hey, he potentially could be late or we potentially could piss off a customer or whatever.
Doesn't matter.
That driver was first priority. We knew he wasn't in the right headspace. We didn't say, hey, drive back here. We went up and got him. And this doesn't matter, but yeah, we ended up with an extra truck and or semi and trailer up there, but you just figure it out. And everyone pitched in, and John called in and said, hey, I heard about this. John, our mechanic, called in. He's like, hey, I was talking to the shop guys. One of those guys had to go up and help finish tarping. Travis just got back from being sick. So he walked up and helped finish tarp or drove up and helped finish tarp. And then John called in. He's like, hey, I rescheduled my doctor's appointment I had tonight. Let me know if you need me to pick
whatever
up
you need.
The slack of, you know, the stuff going on. So it was truly, if you stop and take a deep breath at everything, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's how you keep good employees.
Right.
When you go out of your way like that. And you guys have done that many a times.
It's not. It sounds like we're tooting our own horn a
No,
little bit,
not-
but it's just
not
doing
meant.
what's right. You
Yeah.
know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
And if everyone did that in the world that we're in today, I think it'd be a better place.
And that's
Yeah.
why we're talking about it.
Right.
Not to boast, but to be like, be
Hey,
good.
look at
Be
me.
good to people.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So
So
there's that.
there's that. Anything else?
Well, I'm gonna start wearing my glasses. We do have a board up there, and I can't read it.
It's probably the color.
It could be. So I think we should. Well, we could talk about our poll this week.
Sure. The high pole?
I got another one. We are going to try something a little bit different this week. In the comments, we're going to have a poll.
A link to a form.
Yeah, and it's kind of because we want to know and to see if there's anything that we can help with on the road, and to get other people's perspective on things.
Right.
So our poll this week is, you know, from a driver standpoint, what are your biggest challenges out on the road? And we're just going to have like 4 items to choose from. We'll probably have an other you could write in, but they're
Right.
going to be other drivers, being respected as shipper or receiver, parking, and then the last one would be like construction and weather. You know, what are your biggest
Road
concerns?
conditions.
Road construction, yeah, conditions.
Restrictions.
What are your biggest concerns out there? What are the biggest stressors? And just kind of curious what everybody has to say.
Yeah. And I say we're going to put a link to a form in there, and that's if everything works out.
We're going to try.
We are not very good at technology, so
If not, just write it in the comments.
yeah, put it in the comments. Worst case scenario. We'll see how it goes, and if it works, maybe we'll come up with something that'll help us kind of tailor some information to other episodes.
Yeah.
At that point, let's thank our listeners that are always here for us. Shout out to the guys. Work Harder 590. Bushburger,
Yep.
Pony Boy, Israel, Stewart.
Haven't heard from Pony Boy in a while.
Went right over his head.
Pony Boy, comment below. and
Stachik.
Let us know what you're up to.
Flash. Do you remember Flash?
I remember
back in the
Flash.
day.
Carolina.
Mahoney.
Yeah.
All those guys, and everyone else that listens and we don't know who you are, we'd love to get to meet you. Stop in if you're in the area. Like, share, subscribe. Let it play while you sleep. That's our motto here.
There you go.
But let's hop into another, I guess,
Today's topic:
hot button item that developed over the weekend.
National-
I think the 27th.
national emergency
National emergency. Roll with it.
due to the issuance of non-domiciled CDLs and CLPs, and CLPs are commercial learning permits. So there is federal regulation on how you are supposed to issue a CDL. Some
Both
states,
for citizens and non-domiciled citizens, right?
correct.
Okay.
Some states are not following those rules; they are following their own rules.
Let me guess. California.
California is a major offender. So what Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Transportation, just issued was a national emergency stating, look, you need to meet these criteria and follow our regulations, or we are going to cut your funding for highway construction. And we're
Right.
going, yeah. So we're going to get into some of that.
Yeah.
and
I
let
mean-
you go for it.
Knowing what I know, and I'm not super versed in this,
Which is
and
not much.
right? Which I just said, and quite honestly, it's not something that up until the last year I never even thought
Knew
was an
about.
issue because I'm like, oh, it's you go to the DMV, you have to pass your test, you have to go to school now. That all changed, and then every couple of years, you need your medical card if you're going to leave the state, and you need to follow these things, and you have your CDL, right? Seems pretty cut and dry.
Right, but what was happening was these non-domiciled drivers would go to get their CDL,
Yep.
and they would present their work visa.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to be acceptable anymore. Let's say they were issued a CDL, right?
Right.
Well, in California, they were issuing them up to 4 years beyond the date that their visa expired. So you could have your work visa expire today, and these people were still driving for 4 more years legally.
That's a bigger problem, though.
Like, it's a huge,
like-
it's irresponsible. They're not supposed to be working, but they're driving illegally.
Right, and here illegally, if that's the case. Like, that is a bigger portion of the issue, or not taking the proper channels. But I don't understand, like, how does it even get to that point where a state's like, I'm going to make my own rules? Like,
Well, think about it. If my CDL is going to expire, I'm going to go in and get it renewed. Right now, I don't think I even need to present anything.
for your
Like my
CDL,
FedMed.
your FedMed.
But not if I'm an intrastate driver. I don't think I have to do anything.
Yeah, probably not. You probably can do it online.
Right. So now, I don't think you can do it on. No, you still have to take a vision test to renew your license and stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
So, so now there is basically a clearinghouse, but Department of Homeland Security
Yep.
database that everybody has to get run through to make sure you're a legal
I know what you meant.
person able to get their CDL.
So how many people is this? How many people are we talking? I mean, a year,
Wasn't
a
it?
month,
You got it up there.
200,000, I thought,
200,000 in the state of California.
but alone.
Yes,
And of that, 25% of them are considered fraudulent,
correct.
right? So they did 75% of the job right.
Yes, 200,000
It's passing.
CDL holders and 20,000 learner permit holders. They believe are fraudulent or are not going to pass the litmus test.
Current, okay.
And they also believe that only 6,000 of them will be able, once it's enforced, will be able to actually do it correctly and obtain their CDL correctly.
This is a bigger, I mean, other things are going into this, like English speaking and all of that too, right?
Yep.
So they're thinking, hey, we'll add 6K
versus 200K.
Well, that's just the whole country. That's not just
I thought that
California.
was California.
So then there's other states too. So it could be more drivers than
Yep.
6K. Okay. Man, that's astounding to think about. But what about all the people that, do they have something in effect for all of the people that did receive these illegally? Like, how are we going to go back and catch that? Or
That
we
I
just
don't
have to
know.
wait another 4 years for them?
That
If
I
they're not
don't
renewing it now, they're not going to renew it later.
Well, I think this all stemmed from an audit in California, where they went in and said, "Hey, are you guys following these procedures?" They're not. They need to.
What are the new procedures?
They need to hold on to documentation for 2 years.
Okay.
They need to run them through the Homeland Security thing. They have to have a valid passport, I believe, or the work
Yep.
visa.
An in-person annual review.
In-person annual review. So that's annual. There you go.
That makes sense.
What we mean by that in-person annual review is I, as a CDL holder, have to go in annually.
To a DMV.
Yep.
They also said that their license has to
Say
display
non-domiciled.
non-domiciled. Yeah.
Yep.
But still, once all of those things are in effect,
Yep.
short of getting pulled into a way station or getting in an accident, how does someone that doesn't follow those?
Well, they're not following the law now, so how? Right.
right.
Like,
That's how are we going to catch that? Like, does
agreed.
this fix
Agreed.
the problem? I don't. Yes. No. Maybe
I think
so. I don't know.
I think it starts the fix to the problem. It gives
Right.
them the framework to fix the problem.
I mean, criminals are going to be criminals, no matter how you look at it. If you put a law into effect that says you can't do this and someone's doing that, they're a criminal. They're going to find a way to do that.
Yep.
So this may just lead to
And I'm not
more things.
saying all non-domiciled CDL holders
Some of these
are bad or unsafe, right?
Correct.
But what this is really stemming from is so far this year in 2025, there's been 5 fatal accidents involving non-domiciled CDL holders. And it's blowing up.
So in
and they're
theory,
like, hey, there's a problem
preventable.
here. Debatable if it's preventable, but yes. Like,
Well,
hey,
it's-
you weren't supposed to be there in the first place kind of thing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's 100% preventable if you go on that mindset.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that the accident was solely
I would agree
the
with
cause of that.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, it's frustrating because I know we talked about it in a previous with the English speaking. If someone's here and they want to be here and they're doing all the right things to do that legally, 100%, by all means, that's how we all got here. Not us personally, but
Our
ancestors and everything else. Some of these people may not even know they're committing against the law.
No, they're just trying to make a better life for themselves.
Right. And that's sad. But man, it's crazy to think that the system can be so broken. I mean, how do you trust anything? How do you,
Well, think about it this way.
if I want to be a doctor, can I just go to some state that's like, hey, we need some doctors and
Probably.
Get a-
God,
I mean, there's
that's happened.
get
Yeah.
a degree?
Absolutely.
Think about airline pilots. They must have some. I'm assuming they have some pretty stringent guidelines, right?
Justin said they don't do anything.
Justin.
Yeah, from up in Canada there.
Oh yeah. But they have some pretty stringent guidelines, right? To be
Yeah.
a pilot.
But when's the last time you've been on an airplane and they said, oh, I'm out of hours, I got to land?
Never.
Right.
But they have the framework and they're abiding by those laws or those rules, right?
Correct.
I think that's just the general basis here. Like, hey, we got to reel this back in, make it uniform, and everybody play by the same rule. Otherwise, we're
Do
going
you think
flying.
we have to play, like, let's say you're an American pilot.
Yep.
If you go into another country,
Yeah.
do you have to play by their rules?
I think that's all FAA regulated, right?
That is worldwide
Yeah.
on the same level now.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world has to speak English. That is the main language of the
That's the baseline.
baseline for the FFA. If you work in the whatever that world, you got to speak English if you're talking to planes. Because at one point there were so many issues because
Language
Americans are
barriers.
flying to France and
Right.
what the fuck? Where's he telling me to go?
Right.
We'll
Right.
bleep that. Don't worry. But
Right.
yeah.
That's crazy.
It's just reeling it in a little bit, and
Just getting a pulse on it.
yeah,
What's
just like us and following distance.
right. It'd be interesting. Do you think they'll release a monthly update on like the benefits it's caused, or do they think it will? How are we going to measure it? I mean, simple terms, you could measure it in a, hey, non-illegal, non-domiciled
I think
CDLs
it's one of those
were
things
issued,
that
but
you know, how do you put a number on it and how do you measure it? Because what you don't know right now,
you can't.
you're throwing darts at a board, right?
Right. You can't do anything until you have some data.
Yes. So it may all be for naught, right? Like, hey, maybe this is not the thing we should be looking at.
But it might uncover something.
But it might uncover a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, pulling federal funding for highways, I think, is a pretty steep penalty to get your ducks in a row.
I just don't understand if we put in, just because you're non-domiciled doesn't mean that you don't speak English. That's where
Sure.
in my head, I was like, if they enforce that, would that solve this problem? But I don't necessarily think it will, and vice versa. But it should be standardized at every way station or every, hey, how can we start doing this? Now, I get that takes money, but if it's important and they're putting out a national emergency for it, there's clearly a reason.
Right.
I don't think it's a power play. I don't think it's for anything else, but
They're going to, you know, tell you it's in the mind of safety. And I think I can get behind that. You know, if I can't read a road sign,
back to the
that's an
English.
issue.
Back to the English speaking
Yeah.
and literacy. But this here,
Well, if I don't have a real CDL, a legal CDL.
right, I'd get pulled over if I didn't have a driver's license driving to and from work.
But as we talk about that, maybe that's not the issue. The
That's-
issue
that's
is,
what I'm trying-
It's still just the fact that
It's flawed. There's no enforcement.
You wouldn't get pulled over unless you did something wrong.
That's exactly what's happening here. Like, it's coming to light because things have happened. They've made it someone else's problem, and now someone else is trying to deal with it. The fact that these fake CDLs are getting issued, okay, maybe they know, maybe they
they
don't,
might not
right?
even be fake, though, Trask.
They might not. They are. I guess they could be real. They're just following a different protocol.
They could be expired or not. They could be real,
Yeah.
but they could just be not.
verified.
Yeah, expired, I guess would be a good
Yeah.
term. Like, hey, your work visa expired last year. You're still driving. You shouldn't be. Something's got.
So it's got to be like a information communication, because maybe let's use Kakana. They probably don't have. I don't know this. I'm not a cop, but if they pull someone over and the CDL is verified, but their work visa isn't, like, is that all they're checking? I don't know.
I don't know. Probably.
If someone knows more
I
about
don't
this,
know
let
if
us
that's
know.
going to happen at that stage. Don't you think that's more at the renewal and issuance
Probably.
DMV type thing?
Right.
But it could progress to that.
Right. But at the scale, they should be able to know. At a scale.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you're taking somebody out of service, or if
Department
it's
of
valid.
Transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh, this is valid, but it's not linked to it. Our Fed Med cards have to be linked to our CDL, and that's all in the database. This isn't linked to proper work. Oh, it shows that you're not supposed to be in the country.
Yeah.
You know, like that can be done. It's 2025. If it can't, AI can probably scrub that. But I want to know what's going to happen to all the people that currently have them. You know, like, are they going to go back and try to retroactively do this, or?
Well, if there's only a few states that are not complying, right? Let's say I got mine in California and my CDL, and I am technically not supposed to be driving right now. Unless they make it a federal database, which Homeland Security should be, how is anybody in the state of Wisconsin, if I get pulled over in the state of Wisconsin, how are they going to know?
Right. That was like the issue back in the
but
day.
it's happening right now, and they're
Right.
getting away with it. So I don't know that answer.
Yeah, but that used to happen back in the day, with not to the same scale. But look at all the old stories you hear from the truckers. Oh, he had a bunch of tickets in Wisconsin, so he got a Texas CDL.
Yep.
And when people started catching on to that, it started being,
It's progress and
right. Ideally, all these things are put in place to make the road safer, the industry safer. Whether you agree, disagree.
at least that's the theory behind it. Some of them are just a little bit out there, right? Like people making laws and rules that really don't have any real life experience.
Or they're not thought through on everything else. Yeah. It's, so California, Colorado, Pennsylvania,
South Dakota,
and Texas. And Washington. Those are the big states, but it's clearly an issue that it was brought up. Is it as big of one? I don't know. I don't know where I sit on this, to be honest.
You clearly think it should be uniform, right?
I don't. Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying I agree with people driving illegally. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that. But I don't necessarily know what this national emergency is going to do if we don't have a plan to enforce it.
It's just putting a fear in everybody right now.
But yeah, that's where I'm hesitant on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, the same old adage, talk is cheap, right?
Right.
Until you do something about it.
Well, we got to end on something better than that. What else you got?
Wow. Well,
I got one. What's the difference? Here's some trucker terminology.
There we go.
What's the difference between a BOL and a POD?
A BOL and a POD.
A bowl and a pod.
So BOL stands for Bill of Lading, which is for transport. And
documents everything on the truck, trailer, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill of Lading. To, from, where you picked up, where you're going, customers, and essentially a packing list of, description.
Okay.
POD stands for proof of delivery. So once the freight is delivered, you would have a proof of delivery. Now, today's day and age, people sign a bill of lading, received, that's your POD, right? So BOL turns into a POD. Back when I started, we had...
That was a long time ago.
That was ancient times. We had...
Did they give everyone a Polaroid?
We had half slips. Polaroids weren't around yet. We had half slips, which were carbon copies.
Like a receipt book?
Kind of like a receipt book. And it had our company name on it. And then we would fill it out. Like, hey, picked up at Quick Transport, went to Quick Trip and description, and received by, and that would be a proof of delivery. The delivery receipt is what we called it.
Yep.
And then we would send that along with a bill of lading and our invoice. Don't know why we were not able to sign a bill of lading. I don't know if there was a rule for that or a reason for that. Today's day and age, I don't think people have delivery receipts anymore. You just sign the bill of lading.
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a long time.
I've probably got some. I could show them to you.
Well, I've seen them back in prior jobs, but I haven't seen like one in a long time. I think
something probably changed, or it was just an extra safeguard back in the day.
Right.
So a BOL does or could turn into a POD once freight's delivered. Is that fair?
And there's a signature on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, think about that a little bit. With COVID, that all changed.
Right.
You didn't have to sign a bill of lading anymore. Nobody had to sign a bill of lading anymore. Right. I think as a driver, you had to receive that freight when you loaded it, and you had to legally sign that to show, and the shipping person had to have a signature on there, and then the receiver could.
Right.
But COVID changed all that. Nobody was signing anything because of contamination and whatever. What does it look like today? I still sign everything. Do you know?
It's back to normal.
Okay.
I mean, most people are like, hey, this one doesn't have a signature on it,
do they care?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it happens once a month where it gets forgotten, or someone forgets the paperwork there, or it gets lost, or whatever. It just happens. But everything's back to signature. Okay. A lot of it's going digital. I mean, there's some places that will sign it right on your phone now, or our system lets you sign it right in the app.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right.
That's all I got.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe,
share.
Don't forget about the poll in the comments.
Yep.
And
we'll see you next week.
Have a great week.
See you guys.